Okay, so while we're on the subject of helping each other learn, let's talk about chops. Let's talk about how to get better. What's your philosophy on practicing, and how you make your musical journey matter? How you work all that stuff. It's different, I think, across for different players. It's different in terms of what we shed. You know.
Right.
So what's worked for you?
Well, I've never been a guy who's practiced many, many hours. I was always a guy that just started playing in bands from the earliest age. I was in a band from 9 years old on and started playing professionally when I was 12 and 13 because I always grew the most from playing in bands and listening to other musicians. But
Mm-hmm.
obviously, I've shed. I've spent my thousands and thousands of hours of shedding in my day.
Right.
And what works for me is I just have really specific goals because I think that if I have like short-term goals, medium goals, and long-term goals, and like when I sit down to practice, I usually have a pretty clear goal about why I'm there, and that way I go. And I may not have that much time. I mean, the biggest luxury for me is having limitless time practicing, which I rarely have anymore because I do a lot of stuff. I've got a little daughter now, and when I'm
Yeah.
home, because I'm off the road, when I'm home, I like to spend
Sure.
time with my family, and I'm writing a book, and I'm doing all kinds of stuff. So I
Mm-hmm.
like to really be concise, like sit down and kind of know what I'm going to do ahead of time and what the goal is and what I want to achieve. Like if I want to, if I'm practicing a snare drum piece and like a snare drum etude and I can play it at like 60, my goal is to play it at 90. So I'll practice till I can play it at 90 BPM.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of what works for me. Um, and I try to really enjoy it and embrace it. I try to have a viewpoint that I don't have to be here. I get to be here, so it isn't mundane to me. It's more joyful, and
Right.
and I think the older I get, the more I appreciate the practice time because I have less and less time to practice.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's how I approach it.